Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. It's the B Tatum Show. Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show. Show. It's the B Tatum. It's the B Tatum Show.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, ladies? Oh man, I just love all the haters that's gonna show up on this this live stream and think they didn't got something. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the reason why I titled it this, because a person made a video about me earlier yesterday. Somebody shared it with me. A guy made a video about me and tried to say that I was promoting things that I wasn't promoting in a video, the last video I made about the guy at the grocery store. And I thought it was incredibly funny because when people are jealous of you and they are insecure about who they are, they typically project that onto other people. For anybody that say that Brandon Tatum is a fraudulent person, you know, that person is jealous. That person is, you know, envious that they have not gotten to a place that they are excited about, that they are not at a place in their life where they are feeling, I could say, I wouldn't say happy. They're not satisfied. You know, it is funny to me. And for all the haters that show up here because you think you didn't saw a headline that you want to hear, it's not going to happen. Why is it, Brandon, that, you know, somebody calling you a fraud isn't going to, because I'm me 100% of the time, 7 days a week. I'm just me. And for anybody out there that's thinking about doing Instagram, YouTube, and you want to make video, just be yourself. Just be yourself. There is nothing greater than being yourself. And there's nothing more attractive to other people than authenticity. And some people don't have authenticity. So they have a imitation personality, meaning that they're imitating, they're putting on, they're creating a false person. And there's many people that are out there like this, and y'all know a few of them that have been suspects in this. They just cannot find their way in the world, so they try to attract themselves or you know, associate themselves with people that they think will build them clout. So anyway, I thought I could throw this out there and see how many people click on it, but I guess it's slow tonight. So while it's slow tonight, I want to do some Q&A with you guys because it's not a lot of people. So ask the questions, ask away, and I'll answer the questions for the people that's on here. Yeah, no, I don't pay no attention to these haters. I was just making fun. I couldn't think of what the title of this video tonight, so I just thought I'd throw something out there. But to be honest, you know, I think that this idea in the position that I've been put in, hopefully I can help other people. Hopefully other individuals can get some type of clarity, understanding, and motivation to do better in the future. I'm hoping that what I go through helps you, especially people who are doing something in life. People don't criticize individuals who are not accomplishing anything. They don't criticize them. They don't talk about people who aren't doing nothing and making moves. They don't criticize you. They have nothing to say. There's nothing there. But when you are doing something and you are making an impact, people feel some type of way. Just understand that. That's one thing I'm learning being in this movement, is that some people just cannot stand you because you are accomplishing the things that they want to accomplish. Your social media is people, you got so many followers on your social media. Now people are mad at you. When in reality, they should be saying, what is this person doing that I can glean from? And maybe I can accomplish, maybe I can accomplish similar things. This is what I've been doing from the very beginning. Is sometimes I see people that do things very well, and I say, you know what? Let me, can I, maybe I can mimic what they're doing, or at least, find a way to do what some other people are doing that are successful. All right. First question. Officer Tatum. Let me see. Am I looking at the right? Should I look this way? Officer Tatum. I'm going to go look this way. Either way, it looks weird looking at the thing. Okay. Maybe this looks better this way. Officer Tatum. Can Herschel win Senate race in Georgia? I think Herschel Walker can. I think that people should vote for Herschel Walker. I mean, he's a great Patriot guy, had a wonderful career as a football player. I think he's an incredible leader. I met him. He's a genuine person. He's just raw with it. So I think I would vote for Herschel if I was voting for someone who would be in the Senate in Georgia. If I lived in Georgia, I'll vote for Herschel. Herschel Walker should win. People probably love him until he says he's a Republican. Then they mad at him for some reason, like they did Trump. Let's see. Somebody said they want to hear the song. I don't know if I could play the song. I'll play it on here and see if it come through. Can y'all hear that song? It's the Big Tatum Show. Y'all hear that song? It's the Big Tatum. It's the Big Tatum.
It's the Big Tatum Show. It's the Big Tatum. It's the Big Tatum Show.
Y'all didn't know Big Tatum got some moves.
It's the Big Tatum.
All right. Come on with the questions. It says Tatum did that. Leftists try to fight you. Not really. What I consider fighting is fighting words, right? When somebody flip you off, to me, that's fighting words. That's somebody challenging you to a fight, in my opinion. They want to come for you. They got some beef with you, because when I grew up, but you don't stick your finger at somebody unless you want a reaction from them. So technically he didn't try to fight me, but he was just being passive aggressive. He stick the middle finger up at me when I get out the car. I really wasn't even going to say nothing to the guy, but then he started like kind of dodging me, trying to run in the store. And I'm like, bro, if you stick the middle finger up at me and you didn't feel like you did anything wrong, why are you running from me? And I'm not even pursuing you. And then he kind of walks towards the direction I'm coming, because he couldn't go no way but this way. And so I stood right there and I just questioned him about it. And of course he run off this way. And so I'm like, nah, man, you don't get to get away with this, because He's the same person that flip off people that won't say anything to him. And the little coward that made the video about me earlier, he said Brandon Tatum wanted to fight a guy for his freedom of speech. Well, if you stick the middle finger up at me, I can confront you about it. You have the freedom to stick your middle finger up. I have a freedom to say something to you. I can call you out on your BS. And I may have followed the guy for like 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. You know, and I was a police officer, so I know how this stuff works. If a person does something to provoke you, they're not innocent. If you're driving down the street and you call somebody the N-word, and then they get out and address you for it, they don't become a victim all of a sudden, because what they did provoked another person to respond. They did that to provoke another person. That's how it is. But, you know, obviously I know the law, so I'm not going to pursue nobody and do nothing criminal, but I can say something to you about it. You know what I'm saying? I can say, you had a problem with my flag. You stuck the middle finger up at me. What was that all about? You know, you have a right to that. Let's see. Trying to find some more of these comments. Somebody said passive aggressive is a woman trait. 100%, man. These people are not, you know, listen. Let me tell you this. If you a grown man and you stick your middle finger up at somebody, and then you try to, like, bro, you a female. You are a female. Somebody on here said we should buy gold and silver. Yeah, I mean, I think, and I've been doing a few ads on Noble Gold because I do believe that you should diversify your portfolio. You know, if you don't have to put all your money into gold and silver, you don't have to put all of your money into XYZ, but you need to diversify, because if you got all your money over here and things go bad, that's everything you got. So I would argue to at least, you know, the Noble Gold ad that I talk about, at least give them a call and check it out and see if what they say makes any sense. You know, the burden of convincing you to buy gold and silver from Noble Gold is on them. The burden ain't on you. You call down there and you have a conversation with them, and if it works for your family, you should do that. I think everybody should always be open to diversifying investments. And if you don't agree, you just don't agree. But, you know, that's one of the things that some of you guys have seen me do lately is do advertisement. And that's because, you know, I want to give you guys things that I think is beneficial. You know, just the Officer Tatum store every time you come on a thing, it's okay, but there's more to, you know, having things or being aware of things that I think that is invaluable. You know, the store is not, some people may not want to buy from the store. They don't want to wear t-shirts, but some people may want to hear about a good opportunity to invest. Just like the company Officer Privacy. I thought that was I met the guy because he called me. I mean, I saw him at an event. He said hello. He told me about Officer Privacy. And, you know, a lot of people pitch things to me. So I was like, okay, I hear you, man. You know, maybe one day we'll follow up. He called me on the phone and I'm like, what's up, man? I'm like, how did this guy get my number? And we were started talking about Officer Privacy. And then he started to explain to me that my content and all of my material was out on the internet. And I was like, yeah, of course it is here and there, man, you know, whatever. And so he read my current address, which nobody's supposed to be able to have access to. And then he started reading off my information and stuff. And I was like, God, man, I'm slipping, man. I can't have this stuff out here, you know, because these haters may try to find you and dox you. That's how people get doxed real quickly, because they just go on one of these sites and look you up and put some information that they know about you and they can find it. So that's kind of why I wanted to tell you guys about Officer Privacy. I said this would be a great opportunity. And plus I work with them. You know, they you know, monitor my stuff. They took all my stuff off the internet and I have them monitored every month. It's worth the payment every month to have them monitored. And I think that if that's something you want to do, I think everybody in America should invest money into getting their stuff taken offline. I don't even think it's that expensive a month. I didn't forget how much it is. I just said, hey, take it off. I think it was like 100 something to start with, and then it's like a monthly payment of like $19 or something like that, which is what people spend on lattes. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. Did you find it ironic that the Democrat called Trump supporters Nazis for a year before the election and now giving billions in weapons to people who are reported to be neo-Nazis? Right. It's the Ukrainians, right? The Ukrainians have an issue with neo-Nazis in their country, and we giving billions to them. If Trump was to give money to Ukraine, they'll be criticizing him. All right, it's Q&A time, y'all. So if you're on here, it's about 1,000 people watching. If you're on here, it's Q&A time. For some of you who are just now joining, I popped the name up of Officer Tatum finally got exposed because a guy made a video about me earlier and said that I was threatening people. The dude said I'm like a terrorist because I'm a former police officer. I really don't entertain these people too much because, I don't want to get more clout, but sometimes you just want to embarrass these people on their logic. I don't think that there's anybody on planet Earth that will say Brandon Tatum is a fraud. You may disagree with what I say. You may have a different perspective, but to say I'm a fraudulent person is just a lie. And like I said at the beginning of the live stream, I hope that my life and what I do can inspire other people, because my life is simple. Well, it's not easy. I work at 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But it's not hard because it's not as hard because I don't have to put on a front. I'm just Brandon Tatum every day of the week. I just say what I want to say. I say how I feel. And believe it or not, man, there's a lot of people who feel like you feel. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who are okay with you not being the smartest person in the room, okay with you not having, speaking proper English all the time, people that are okay with you being emotional every now and again. So just be yourself and know that there's a lot of people that's just like you. You don't have to be Brandon Tatum. You don't have to be something you're not if that's not how you genuinely are. If you don't like arguing with people, don't be an argumentative person. I've been a strong-willed person my whole life. I talk trash all the time. I was very outspoken as a young kid. And so, that's how I am as an adult, man. I have an opinion about everything, just about. Support the channel down here in Yuma, Arizona. Boy, it's hot down there in Yuma. I appreciate it. My Arizonan, Alex, thank you so much, brother. Appreciate you, man. I need to do another Arizona event. Somebody said, why did you leave the force? Yeah, I made a video about it. It's got like 400,000 views, but since you asked, I might as well say it. Some people are questioning, why did you leave the force? It wasn't anything bad, man. I really enjoyed being a police officer. It wasn't something I wanted to do since I was a kid, but like when I became an adult and did a ride along, it just inspired me, man. I was like, this is crazy. Like, cops do stuff that the average person, that's one thing I miss, and I'm gonna get to the question, but that's one thing I miss about being a police officer is that I did stuff that, like, most of you guys, if you're not a police, you would never imagine that you would do. The adrenaline rush that you get being a police officer is just something that you cannot replicate. When I left the police department, I was having a real hard time, like, adjusting, because days of being a normal person was so mundane. It was so boring. It was so non-intense. It was just, I feel like I couldn't be normal again because I'm used to adrenaline, fear, life and death. Like, all of those adrenaline dumps that you go through on a shift where it's just, it was hard to go to sleep after you leave a shift. Even though you're tired, you just wired. You see dead people. You see people ran from you. A guy almost put a gun on you. You had to fight 3 people. You on a high speed chase going 80 miles per hour down the road. You had to swerve somebody. You almost killed them. Not almost killed them, but you get what I'm saying. They almost killed you. A lot of the times you got the light siren, they don't even move. But, it's so much adrenaline, man. So much mind. Your mind is thinking and thinking and thinking. You do an investigation and you're like, okay, did this person do this? Let me go talk to this witness. Let me talk to this witness. He did it. At least you have enough for probable cause and you arrest the person and It's so much fun being a cop, you know, outside of the danger of life and death, man. I mean, there's nowhere in the world you see the stuff you see. I mean, all of the tragedy that you see is just crazy. I mean, it's like a movie. People jumping off a building to their death. I mean, you know, some people have never seen what it looked like for a person to jump off a building. I mean, some people don't want to see what it looked like, but you have access to that. Like, you can see it. You know what I mean? And then you become desensitized to it, and it's not a big deal. Let's see. Tatum, did you check out the real Samson? He sent an amazing message in his music, needed to be heard everywhere. I haven't yet, unfortunately. Somebody said they got my book. I got a big old sale that I'm going to do just for y'all tonight, just for the people watching. You know, I'm going to do a big sale store-wide, and my warehouse people are going to be mad at me. But I'm going to do a sale store-wide. I already got a sale going. I'm hoping that they should be fine. It's going to be store-wide just for y'all, and it's going to end at midnight. It's going to end at midnight on the West Coast. Now, if you're on the East Coast, then you 3 hours difference. It's going to end at midnight on the West Coast. But I'm going to do a crazy sale, something I have never done store-wide. But just stay tuned. I'll put it on here. Something I've never done store-wide. Now, I've had a sale of this proportion with clearance items, but I'm going to do it store-wide. That includes my book and everything, the whole store. And y'all stay tuned because that's going to be a big sale. Somebody said Tatum is a bully. Let's see. Stay genuine, Officer Tatum. 100%, man. People like for instance, let me just give y'all an idea about today. Oh, I'm gonna go back to why I left the police department. I'm gonna give y'all an idea about today, then I'm gonna go back to that question. So people recognize me a lot, right? Because of so many subscribers I have in Arizona, whatever. People recognize me everywhere. I took an Uber today because my car was getting wild. So I said, let me Uber to the cigar lounge and smoke a cigar while I wait for my car because it's right down the street. And the guy in the Uber recognized me. His wife followed me, and I did a video call where we surprised her, and I said hello, and she was so shocked to see me on the phone. There was a guy. I took my son to a jumpy place, with the trampoline place, and there was a guy in there and said, "Hey, man, I know you with your family, man. Could you please I would love to take a picture with you." I took a picture with him. I spoke to him. It was 2 people that came up to us in the jumpy place. So like, I'm just me, man. Like I really love y'all, man. Like it ain't a farce. It ain't like I do this for the money. It's like I really love y'all, man. I really appreciate all of y'all, man. Y'all have no idea how much y'all mean to me and how much y'all inspire me to keep going and keep pursuing this stuff and keep speaking the truth. And it's because I know a lot of you guys are really getting something from it. It's too much work to do this and be fraudulent, but some people find a way to do it. Let's see. Opinion on David Hogg's ignorant tweet. I didn't see his tweet. That may be a video for tomorrow. I'm gonna look it up. All right, let me try to get back to some of these questions. Any advice for an upcoming rookie like me? Oh, I got plenty of advice. It just depends of how far along are you. If you're an upcoming rookie, then I'm assuming that you are in FTO getting ready to graduate field training. My whole thing was that reputation. Being a police officer, your reputation is everything on the police department, at least in my police department. So when you get out there, you got to be the hardest working person in your squad. Go call to call to call to call. The barking dog call sucks, but you need to take it. The bullcrap call of a unknown person walking in the middle of the street, take it, so that the older guys or the veterans can look at you and say, man, this dude is hard working. And your supervisors and everybody are monitoring you on the radio, whether you know it or not. They're monitoring you, and they're gonna hear you get up on the radio and say, I used to be 2 out of 11-7. I mean, I used to go 2 out of 11-7 Senate, 2 out of 11-7 I'm in route, 2 out of 11-7, 2 out of 11-7. And they used to be like 2 out of 11-7 is always doing stuff. 2 out of 11-7 I'm out on traffic. 2 out of 11-7 I'm checking out with one. 2 out of 11-7 send it to me. 2 out of 11-7 next call. And the older guys are tired, so they kind of sitting around. I'm just going. Learning, going. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. That's how you got to be, man. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Don't let nobody lull you into the culture of talking crazy and doing it. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, to everybody. Everybody. Your superior people on the streets, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. I used to take people to jail and be like, yes, sir. Sir, please. Sir, ma'am, please don't yell at me. Ma'am, may I have to put my, we have to get physical. And when it's all done, sir, do you need some water? Yes, sir. All right, sir. Whatever the case may be respectful, separate yourself, have your uniform clean every single day. Take your money and budget to take your uniforms to the cleaners. Have your crease in your uniform and your boots shine every single day. If you wear the athletic shoes, then make sure they as clean as possible. But don't be a slagger. Be clean, cut, smell good. I used to spray Axe spray just a little bit. I don't want to overdo it. But when I was on duty, I smelled good. I tried to keep my face clean. Sometimes I would go every other day without shaving because, black people get razor bumps. And so I really didn't want to mess my face up like that. But that's a few tips that I can give you. Let me get to a couple of these questions. Love from South Africa. You are so inspiring. Thank you for speaking the truth. I appreciate it. And just so y'all know, we do ship all around the world now. So we had to cut off the shipping out of the country because it was getting crazy. But now we ship from our warehouse. We ship all over the world. You notice the increase of Black reacting to Jordan P. Shapiro, Candace, and Thomas Sowell. And family recognize you, Uncle Tom. Video. And I don't know if I noticed the increase, but I have seen people react to some of these things. People are waking up, man. Like the media is so crazy that people are looking for alternative ways to engage. I'm sorry, y'all, if I missed your question. I'm trying to, people that get a super chats, I'm trying to make sure I get theirs because they actually pay money to do it. You do your own research, and I appreciate what you're trying to inspire. And I've been having fun getting drunk and watching your videos. Hey man, I don't advise getting drunk, but if that's what you want to do, and you can, let me not say that. I don't think nobody should get drunk. It's okay drinking though, but don't get drunk. Have a couple sips here and there. That's fine. B. Tatum, thank you for standing up for the truth. We appreciate you. You are a real deal, bro. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am. The way I am on here is the way I am in real life. If I had like reviews, people would be able to hear my reviews and they'd be like, okay. JV said, been following you for 4 years. Appreciate it. All right, let's see. Somebody said Tatum got fired for police brutality. People are so funny. Oh, let me go back to why I left the police department. So I didn't get fired. I left the police department. I really loved my job, but in 2016, I was becoming more political. Like I never paid attention to politics. I was the Democrat because I'm Black. I'm a Democrat, right? And so I voted for Barack Obama and all that other stuff. And Barack Obama just really disrespected police, and I can't accept that. I can't accept people that are so ignorant and stupid towards police and really destroying the reputation of law enforcement officers. I couldn't take it. I couldn't handle it. I said, I will never support people that hate police officers or that disrespect us like that. And Obama wasn't excluded. And so I said, man, I ain't never looked at a Republican candidate before. Let me evaluate both sides and see where I actually stand. And of course, the Democrats always on the anti-police stuff. And I'm like, all of y'all are eliminated. And then I liked Ben Carson, and I was going to vote for him. That was my president. He dropped out, endorsed Trump, and I said, you know what? Let me go listen to a Trump rally. He came to Tucson. I said, let me go and see. Is this dude racist and crazy, or are people just making this up? And I learned this from being a police officer. Never listen to what people say about other people. Always use your own judgment and experience to dictate how you feel about another person. Don't just believe people, because some people be mad at the other person and they make up lies about them. So don't go down that path. Always check it for yourself. So I said, let me check out Trump. Is this fool a racist, or is he real? Or is this something I'm missing here? Because Ben Carson endorsed him. So I went to a Trump rally and I just made a video about it. I didn't make videos, you know what I'm saying? All that was on my Facebook was Christian stuff. It was just Christian stuff, Christianity, scriptures. It was I had just got saved, you know, so I was on fire for Christ. It wasn't nothing political. Made a video for the first time. It went viral. I remember thinking I was gonna get fired. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh my God, I can't. Because let me tell you how it went real quick. I worked the midnight shift, so I did the midnight shift. I didn't even go to sleep. Because I worked from 21 to 07, so that's 9 to 7 in the morning. So 7 in the morning came, and I said, okay, the rally was like at 10, so I was like, there's no reason for me to go to sleep. I'm just gonna stay up, and then after the rally, I'm gonna go to sleep, and then I'll sleep until I'm ready to go to shift. And so I was up. I went to the rally, I made the video, and I went to sleep. And I woke up to like 30 phone calls. And I'm like, what happened? And I got some from the police station. And I'm like, am I getting fired? Like, what? Why are people looking for me? I'm asleep. I ended up calling the station and I said, what's going on, man? They go, Brandon, like Hannity show called you. Fox and Friends called you. Like they're trying to get in touch with you. They want to interview you. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about, bro? I don't even know what Fox and Friends is. You know, I think I knew what Bill O'Reilly was, but I was like, I ain't never heard of this stuff. And so I said, all right, I'm gonna start calling these people back, like give them my number. And long story short, all of them booked me to come on and talk about my experience at the Trump rally. And I'm like, good, cool. Then the Brussels terrorist attack happened. Everybody canceled me except Fox and Friends. And I didn't know what I had to Google Fox and Friends. I didn't even know what that was. I went on Fox and Friends, and then, you know, I realized that, hey, my opinions matter. Like, maybe I should start speaking about other things that I have opinions about. Trump was just one. So I went on to talk about different subject matter, about standing up for police in these videos, and they would all go viral. I mean, they would all do really, really well. And then that was 2016. 2017, I made a video about Colin Kaepernick. And I'm gonna tell y'all the backstory. Most people have not heard of this. And then I'm gonna give y'all that discount code. But the backstory is that it was a guy I played football with named Nate Ness. He played safety. I played safety. We both played at the University of Arizona. He went to the NFL. I did not, right? And I was way better than him, if you ask me. It's just the circumstances and presented where he had an opportunity and I didn't take advantage of my circumstance. So he's a complete Democrat, right? Talking so much trash, always arguing about Trump. So one day he talking trash and he threw a low blow to me. He said, "Are you just mad because you didn't play in the NFL?" And so I went off on Colin Kaepernick and the concept of football being bigger than what it really is. And I did a rant in my car, got 70 million views. And I remember being on shift being like, my friend Jake was with me, Officer Jake. I ain't gonna say his last name because I don't know if he even want to be mentioned like that. But Jake was with me. We were partnering that day, and I remember the notifications was on my phone. Just every second was a follow, a notification, ding, 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 ding. Zin, 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 zin. It was out of control, and the notifications were like 300 followers, 1,000 followers at one time. It was every second. Z, 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 z. And I remember telling Jake, I said, "Man, bro, this is gonna change my life, dude. I think this is going to change my life." And I didn't know what that meant. I just knew that this video had 70 million views. And so a company in Arizona reached out to me and said, "Hey, we would like to for you to be the spokesperson of Conservative Tribune." And, you know, after thinking about it and how much they were going to pay me, and I said, "Okay, I'll try for a year." So the agreement was just try for a year. If you don't like it, you can always be a cop. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me try this. You know, and I paid off all my debt and all that. It was good. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to being a cop if this didn't work out. And, you know, I love what I do. And then I met Candace Owens. And then that company that I was working for, I think 3 months in or 4 months in, they almost went out of business because Facebook algorithm changed. And so they had to lay off like a bunch of people. I can't disclose. But they had to lay off a bunch of people, and I was one of the people. I was one of the big money people, and so they were like, "Hey, we can keep you for the rest of the year, like we promised, or you can leave and then take all of your assets." all of your social media assets. And I said, oh, I'm gone. And I knew Candace. Candace was working for Turning Point, so I started working with Turning Point. Me and Candace started Blexit, and I just never went back, man. And I felt like God really wanted me to expand reach and speaking to people clearly. He gave me a channel, millions of people. Like, this is what God wanted me to do. So I know it's a long story, but that's kind of how it happened. Now we got about 3,000 people on. Where do you see America going in the next 20 years? To hell. That's why I see America going. America is going to hell in the next 20 years, inevitably, but it can be prolonged if we get Republicans in office. Good Republican people in office. Other than that, our country's gone. They forcing this agenda down our throat. Our kids are retarded. Like, it just on and on and on and on. It's not a good look for us. Let's see. Don, thanks so much for another super chat. David Hart tweeted, if you need a license to kill a deer, why don't you need them to kill a human? Didn't he get accepted into Harvard? Unbelievable. Well, you know. Once these weenies get a little bit of fame, they don't have honest arguments. So they got to make up this facade. You can't get a license to harm an individual. I mean, what does that even mean? A concealed carry license, I guess, in our state, you don't need nothing. This is a constitutional carry state. You don't need nothing. If you want a CCW, it's a lot more convenient to buy guns with a CCW or whatever the case may be. If you want a CCW, you can get a CCW. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can conceal and open carry in the state of Arizona with nothing. If you want reciprocity across states, then the CCW is something you get. I think you should get constitutional carry reciprocity across all states in the union. That's how it should be, because it's a constitutional right. It's not a suggestion. However, there's no license to take somebody's life. You don't get a license to do that. I mean, not unless you certified to be a police, to be in the prison system and you get to pull the plug on people on the death penalty. Maybe that, I don't know if that's what he's talking about, but you get a tag to hunt deer or a license or whatever. I don't know. I don't hunt. But when you talk about humans, you can only defend yourself in self-defense if it's going to cost taking the life of another human. There's no license for that. There's no access to that. There's no benefit. And it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you get access to saying I could take another person's life. No, your God-given right gives you the ability to take a person's life if you feel that your life is in danger. But he's a dummy. These people, they don't think things through. They have to be activists. I'm going to say this again, and this is why I titled this video the way I have. Some people become relevant, become popular by being honest to themselves. And it's easy when you just keep it real with yourself, and God will bless you. These other people become popular by trying to take a stance to make themselves popular. That's the difference. To me, David Hogg saw an opportunity because he was in the Parkland shooting. I think that was the one he was in. And he saw an opportunity that I'm a part of. I was there in one of the biggest events that have happened in American history. And this is my chance to maximize exposure. And once he got popular, he has to try to maintain this persona to be popular. That is the difference between people like David Hogg and somebody like myself. And that's why people write stupid tweets like this, because they have to keep up with this persona. The Second Amendment is bad. Everything we saying is good, and they go crazy. And now they look like idiots, like David Hogg. I'm probably gonna make a video about this tomorrow. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Run for office. Angela, everybody wants me to run for office. God is gonna have to come down from heaven, visit me in a dream and say, Brandon, it is your time, son. And my son, my second son, in whom I'm well pleased, he's gonna have to say all kind of stuff to get me to run for office, because I just don't want nothing. I don't know, man. These people are so whack out here, boy. You should come on my show so we can talk about how to become a great police officer. I'm so open to advice. The Pro Wrestling Podcast. Reach out to my people. Go to my website, go to booking, reach out. Maybe we can make it happen. I lost a lot of friends because I wouldn't agree to ACAB nonsense. Your channel is a reminder I'm not crazy. Nah, you ain't crazy. These people are crazy. Don't let them try to get you go down a rabbit hole. You ain't crazy. These people are crazy. They're nuts. They're absolutely nuts. Let's see. I'm gonna answer some more questions, but I want to get you guys this discount code because I promised you that I would. And so I'm gonna do, and this is for just for y'all. I never did this before. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna give you guys a special discount just for this live stream. And when midnight hit on the West Coast, it's over. All right. When midnight hit on the West Coast, and I'm gonna give you a code. And I think this code should supersede everything else. Let me just do this because this will make it easier. So if you go on to the Officer Tatum store, I'm gonna create this discount real quick, automatic discount. And like I don't know why. I always say I don't know why I'm doing it, but I just really want to bless y'all. Let's see. Keep it real, Tatum. Keep it real, Tatum is the discount code. No, it's not keep it real. It's gonna be an automatic code. And let me not say that. It's gonna be an automatic code. Boom. Everything store wide. There you go. I did it. I'm gonna tell y'all what it is. All right, let me put an end time tonight at, let's see. I think this will be 1 a.m. a.m. Mountain Standard. Hold on, I gotta do a different date. Let's see if it let me do 1 a.m. Mountain Standard. Okay, save. So this discount code, there's one. Where did I mess up at? There's an error with the discount code. Only one can be active. Okay. All right, let me go back. Okay, I'm gonna make this one inactive and I'm gonna make the other one active. So let's disable this one. And I'm gonna make another one real quick, and then y'all gonna do it. The entire store. All right. Hold the phone. Boom. Okay. So if you guys on the just for y'all tonight, yeah, I do this to make it easy, so you don't have to remember any discount codes for anybody on here, and it's gonna end at midnight. If you shop on the Officer Tatum store, you'll get 50. I'm gonna make it 51% just for the heck of it. You'll get 51% off store wide. That's everything we got. And some things I'm gonna lose some money on, but it is what it is. Just for y'all, because y'all the only ones seeing this, and y'all the only ones that's gonna know to go there right now. So 51% off the entire store. If you guys go on tonight, it will end at midnight on the West on West Coast. So whatever, how many ever hours, do the math. It'll end 51% off. I'm probably never gonna do that again. But I love y'all, man. I know times are rough. You know, stuff is going on. Go ahead and just go ahead and rack it up. Just put all the stuff in the cart you want. 51% off the entire store. And I love you guys. That's including my book. So if you haven't got my book yet, signed copy, non-signed copy, this is the time to get the book 50% off. If you ain't got the book, this is the time to get it, because at midnight it's over. Finally, let's see. Finally Express, bro, just got some new threads. Let's see. Let me see. Thank you for the. I don't understand. I mean, I'm slow. Christopher, I don't understand the super chat. You gotta explain it to me. All right, let me get some more questions here. Y'all ask the questions. This is the time to ask the question. Let's see. What is the code? No code. There is no code. You go on there. It's applied to the entire store. The entire store, 50% off. And like I said, I can only do it to midnight because I know I'm losing money on a lot of this stuff that I got in there. But no code. Just go on there. Okay, what is that? Just go on there. Said there was an error. Hold on. What just happened right there? Hold on, let me make sure this thing is active. Yeah. Boom. That's it. That was weird. Anyway, you don't need a code. Just when you go on there, just go on there and get something. Put it in the cart. It'll give you the discount in the cart. There's no code. Discount will just it'll appear in the cart. As soon as you check out, the discount will happen. Let's see. Brian is live. The Grease Monkey video. Why not debate him? I mean, I don't like giving. Think about this for a minute. If I was like Denzel Washington, I disagree with your videos. You think Denzel Washington gonna come on my it wouldn't make sense for Denzel Washington to come on my stream to do that. So there's a part of me that don't want to give these people no life. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got the haters that are coming. You just give them life when you do stuff like this. You give them life. And I don't want to give a person life like that. I already didn't put his name up on here, but the dude is whack, man. The dude is super whack. When you say somebody's a terrorist because they were a police officer, there's no going back. Like you're a complete idiot. Autocorrect. I meant to say exposed, not expressed. Oh, sorry, man. I'm probably the one. I should have read through that. It says finally exposed, bro. That's funny. Yeah, I said that because some idiot that they were talking about a minute ago made a video about me. And you know, I respect somebody if you disagree with me and you like, this is the point where I think that he's wrong and here's why. Not that you got to make a whole video to make up stuff. Brandon talked about pulling a gun on somebody in the video. I didn't say that. I said if the man pull on me, you got to think, he stick his middle finger up at me. He has a right to stick his middle finger. Am I going to shoot because stick your middle finger up? No. But I have a right to say something to him. You stick your middle finger up at me, I can say, why you stick your middle finger up at me? And then when I say, no, tell the world why you stuck your middle finger up at me. And he runs. I didn't chase him. I walked behind him for 30 seconds. Maybe not right in that long, probably 10 seconds. And I let the man go. He trying to escape. I said, man, I'm not finna harass you. But you answer the question. You can't answer the question, then let's go our separate ways. You instigated by sticking your middle finger up at somebody. That's like calling somebody an N-word when you walk by. And then try to drive off. You're provoking a reaction from somebody. So when they react to you, don't get scared. Don't run. You was verbal. I'm verbal. You walked away. I wanted to see if you, well, first of all, he engaged with me before I got on the thing. That's why I started it up. But then he tried to run because he didn't want to be on camera, knowing that he was talking about, I'm a millionaire. Trying to put, okay, you're a millionaire. Okay. Are you the head of a company and you want the company to know you sticking a middle finger up at people while you driving by because you disagree with the Blue Lives Matter flag? And the person who made the video about me is a complete idiot. It's just these people, they get into this weird world where they like, police officers are bad. They are here to violate your constitutional right. These people have never put on a uniform ever. Police, we ain't got time to be doing stuff like that. Most police officers don't want to go to jail. They brainwash you in the academy that anything you do, you're going to jail. You violate somebody's constitutional rights, you're going to jail. Like, nobody wants to violate people's constitutional rights because you're told you're going to go to jail. And people have gone to jail for it. So anyway, let me try to pull that comment up real quick from my boy. Let's see, Tatum. If you say you are a changed man, have a conversation with Brian. Oh, people, it must be his people wanna have a conversation. I mean, that dude is crazy, dude. you a terrorist because you a police officer. You were a police officer enacting violating people's constitutional rights. A no-knock warrant is legal. It's a legal warrant. I've conducted no-knock warrants. They are, anyway. People that have never been a cop have no idea what they're talking about. Anyway, do you think our current administration is incompetent of making our country great, or purposefully not making our country great, and why? I think both. I think that these people are way out of their league. I don't think they are operating on reality. They're operating on social justice. Like, it doesn't make any sense to defund the police. They're operating on a defund the police platform because it's social justice. It makes no sense in real life because then the communities are going to crap now that they've degraded and defunded the police. In many of these cases, even the threat of defunding the police kills police morale. Now people are breaking in, they doing smash and grabs everywhere around the country. It's a dumb policy. They know it's dumb, but they have to push an agenda to get you to vote for them. They don't really want to do anything. They don't really want to fix the country. Donald Trump proved that. He did just about everything he said he was going to do. And he made the Republicans and the Democrats look stupid. You're like, you can't change our embassy. You can't put our embassy in Jerusalem. Oh, is it Jerusalem? Let me not say that wrong. You can't do some of these things. Donald Trump did everything he said, just about. And if they weren't resisting him, he would have did everything he said he was going to do. And you look at these politicians, you say, why couldn't none of y'all do this? It's because y'all don't want to accomplish nothing. You need to lead them over to the next Republican. You can't do everything because once your 8 years is up, you're bone dry. No, you need to lead to the next person. Lead them to the next politician. Lead them to your next term. I'm not going to do everything in the first 4 years I'm here because I need them to vote for me again so I can do more in the next 4 years. Donald Trump exposed all of this. And if you can't see, then you just blind, in my opinion. Let's see. Not being drafted into war is a common blessing from young Americans of every race today. Yet we have more POCs, LGBTs, and obese victims than last century. And I agree with you. It's just the mindset of people. Like I feel like I'm a very balanced individual. Like, I know police aren't perfect, but my God, I know that they not terrorists out here trying to violate your rights and racist against black people. It's like they're not. They're not. I find it very difficult for police officers to be racist. It's very difficult. Or if you are, to actually apply racism in real life. It's almost, I don't even know how a cop could do that, to be honest. Now, maybe a couple people here and there. Yeah, I mean, these smaller agencies and stuff like that, maybe. But like, everybody crazy. You're going to just focus on black people and the white man shoot you and kill you. But you're not focused on him because you worry about white. That people don't do that. Cops are looking at threats. Are you a threat? Are you not a threat? Because on TV, you can make up the lie and say cops are, black people are this way, Mexican people are this way, women are this way. When you're a cop, you realize everybody's a threat. Anybody can be a threat at any time. You're not pulling over a white person at a traffic stop as a real cop, not a couch potato cop, a real cop. And you go, oh, he's white, he's harmless. You ain't doing that. You walked up to your car and be like, is this guy going to kill me or not? Does he have a gun? Is he following directions? This is what cops do. Cops ain't sitting here worrying about no race. It's almost impossible, man. It's almost impossible because everybody's committing crimes. And then you can't say cops are focused on race if they work in an all-black community. You're like, there's nobody else here. How are they focused on race when the only people they can interact with is black people? Oh, they just pulled me over because I'm black. They let 45 black people just drive by and they pulled you over. So is it discrimination or not? Because the last 45 black people that just passed through here, they didn't pull over and they pulled you over. It wasn't 100 white people and they pulled you over. It was 100 black people and then they pulled you over out of the black people. You're just making stuff up. We the people, thank you for keeping it real for years. Keep up Keep on with the truth. I appreciate it. Let me get some of these super chats real quick. Saint, thank you so much. Saint Vicious, thank you so much. Let's see if I get this. Donald Trump was raised up in a Jesuit college. Jesuits are the order that infiltrated first the Illuminati. In turn, the Illuminati sees Freemason. I have no idea about none of that, but I read it. Let's see. Chill, thank you so much for the super chat. What do you think about modern day sundown towns? I never heard of any conservatives speak out on it. I don't agree that systemic racism is a problem, but then modern day sundown towns are real and active. What do you think? I have no idea what a sundown town is. Based on the context of what you're asking me, is it that you can't go out after sundown because people are racist? I mean, I think any level of racism is stupid. I mean, but I understand why people hate each other and why people get mad. They don't make it right, though. I get it. I know why black and white people don't like each other. When I was growing up, we didn't like white people. And it's because what you're getting told every day is that white people have to get you and all this stuff. And then you build some kind of, you feel some type of way about white people. And then, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't even true. And so, but you feel some type of way. And then white people are wondering, why does this black man think this way about me? And they may not know that they mom and them brainwashing them to feel that way about you. It's not like they really have evaluated this and they feel this way. It's a lot of brainwashing. And the same thing come with white people. Like a lot of white people are racist because other people have told them that's what it is. They have probably never experienced being around any real black people. And they become racist because it's generationally fed to them. It's not natural to be racist against people. It's generationally fed. So I see how it happens. But it's stupid, sundown towns. If that's what that is, then it's stupid. Like, I don't agree with that, but I think that's why you had a Second Amendment. You got the Second Amendment. You can sundown. It don't matter, sundown, sun up. You pull up, you can defend yourself. It don't matter what the sun doing. That's how I feel about it. If you don't want to defend yourself and you want sundown to be a real issue in your community, then so be it. People nowadays be like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words would devastate my inner childhood forever. 100%, bro. People are so soft these days. 5 years ago, I thought people like you were sellouts. Now my eyes are open up to the game. Look forward to speaking to you one day. Keep it up, bro. DC Grace, 100. Listen, I used to say the same thing about other people that were conservative. My friend James T. Harris, he was a radio host in Tucson when I was a cop, and I used to listen to him. He used to bash Obama. And I was like, man, this dude is a sellout, bro. And me and James T. Harris today were the best of friends. James T. Harris is one of the reasons why I'm a conservative. Like, James T. Harris is the man to me. You know what I'm saying? And I used to think he was a sellout, but thank you for saying that, man. And it's your obligation to wake up other people. Tolerance for police abuse is too low for racism. I don't know what that means. I think that it's just not easy to be a racist. I don't know how people do it. It's a one nation under God, no LXL. They will be. Okay, so let me say this too while y'all going and buying stuff. If you see something that's sold out, hit the notify me when made available. Then we'll know what the demand is. And some of these items we can bring back. Like this, I think we already got this on restock. So you go in and click notify me when made available. We will restock it. It'll take us maybe a week or two to restock, but we will restock it for you. But we have to know that there's enough interest. If nobody's interested in it, we may just let the design go and do something new. But if there's a lot of interest, like, we will restock for you. We see the numbers, we'll do it. So if you have something that you got and you like that we have, just put notify made available. Be patient. We'll try to get to it. We'll restock it if it's enough demand. But anyway, if you just now joining, it's 50% off, 51% off the entire store. I know a lot of stuff, like I said, a lot of stuff is, my margin is dismal and I'm gonna lose money on it. But 50% off the entire store. Go on and get your stuff now. It ends at midnight West Coast. Midnight West Coast is over. There's gonna be no ifs, ands, or buts. I would never do 51% off on my store wide. Clearance is gonna be 51% off, 50% off possibly. We go in and out of the clearance. We raise the discounts on clearance or not, but store wide. I mean, the new products, all the cool stuff, all the stuff that I never sell, that I never put on sale, just for y'all. Because after this live stream, I'm cutting it off. So only the people that see this live stream is going to see this and know that this is going on. And so you guys get the benefit of the doubt. Okay, why not have civil discord with Brian? You both may not agree, but he is reasonable. No, he's not reasonable. You can both learn from each other. Listen, let me tell you something. I'm a terrorist for being a police officer. That's not reasonable. You make this dude named Brian, he made the video. You make a video and saying I threaten a guy and I'm going to pull a gun on somebody because you want to sensationalize a video to get clicks. Everybody on my channel watched that video. It's got 400,000 views. There's nowhere in there that I promoted violence. I even told people I don't condone violence. Be careful about confronting people. But if I wasn't going to hurt the man, but I'm going to say something to you, if you're throwing the finger up at me at the parking lot, I'm going to at least address you. You have the freedom to do this. I have a freedom to talk to you about it. I have a freedom to confront you about it. In no way in the world in the video was I cussing at the guy, was I yelling at the guy. I was having a conversation. He trying to run once I got the camera on, because before the camera, he was acting all bold and saying, I'm a millionaire. Who are you? What do you do for a living? I'm a millionaire, as if he was better than me. And so I'm like, oh, well, you want to be arrogant. Let's see you keep that same energy on the camera. And I want you to show the world that you would explain to the world why you're justified in flipping off a flag that represents supporting police. Now, what are you going to call the police when you just saying the police is, you flipping off the flag of support of the police. And then this guy talking about the blue line matter means something. It's like, I don't get people. The blue line comes from when somebody passes away, we put a band over our badge for fallen officers, right? We put a band over our badge, one solid band. And based on everything I know, the blue line is showing respect for law enforcement and law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. That's what it is, saying I'm in solidarity with law enforcement. When the red one is saying I'm in solidarity with firefighters, and then it's other colors for different first responders. It has nothing to do with like a secret code in a secret society. What what world do you live in? Have a conversation when it be reasonable. You can't be reasonable with somebody who ain't reasonable. If the man said, this is what I disagree with Brandon Tatum, okay, that's fine. I mean, we can have a discussion if you like. Brandon Tatum is a fraud. This is why Brandon Tatum is a fraud. He's promoting violence to his audience. Why lie? Why lie? You just look bad. You lied. I don't get it. I would never make a video about somebody and then lie about them. This person is committing violence. And then he was dumb enough to play my real video. And I watched this video and I said, what is this guy even talking about? Let me see if he have a legitimate argument against me. And then he started talking crazy. And I'm like, he one of them. Then he played my video and I said, my video contradicted everything he said. He just hating. He's just jealous. That's all this is. Let's see, my message didn't go through, but what is your opinion in the best way to show support and appreciation to a random cop in public, like if you just meet one at a gas station? Say thank you for your service is the easiest way to do it. Thank you for your service, sir. Thank you for your service. That's the easiest way to show respect to a police officer. And they may not, like be like, oh, thank you so much. But on the inside, it's like, thank you so much. Like, God, we deal with so much every day. You wonder, is there any sane people left? And so when you say thank you for your service, cops really appreciate that. I know for a fact. Tatum, did you hear about the Sacramento shooting? Yeah, I think I heard a little bit about it. Like 8 people died, something crazy. I didn't look into it yet. I just kind of saw it glance across my feed. You hear about the Sacramento shooting downtown. A bit sad that no one is talking about it because it was most likely gang on gang violence. Yeah, so 2 people talk about the Sacramento. I'm going to look into it tomorrow and check it out. Let me get to the comments. Let's see. Angry Red, thanks so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get to you. There's so many comments going through. There's no way I can read it. See, I just pointed out the group behind the evil shift in the world climate, and you brushed it off. How do we to win this if people don't know the enemy? Because just because you said it, don't make it true. You need more evidence, brother. You can't prove nothing in 20, 30, 40 characters. I just told you that Trump was this and then Freemason. I got to look into this. I just told you. What are you talking about? Trump is a Freemason. What you said sounds stupid. However, I'm not going to completely disregard it because I would have to look it up to verify. What you said sound completely stupid. That Donald Trump is a part of some secret society and stuff. Like it don't make sense. Just like when Republicans or these people with QAnon and all this stuff, it's like it sounds stupid. Show me some evidence. It's just talking. To me, all the stuff that I've known about Trump, nobody ever had nothing negative to say about Trump. Trump is a businessman. He got a lot of charisma. He got a lot of name recognition. He ran for presidency, and he was just keeping it real. And people were like, thank God, a normal person. People didn't really like him like that, but he's a normal person. Thank God there's a normal person like us. And that's who Trump was. And now all of a sudden he caught up in some conspiracy theory. But if you got evidence, show me evidence. You can't just expect people to believe you on a super chat. Nobody believes you on a super chat, bruh. You need more evidence to say, well, because I said it, it makes sense. No, you need to show more evidence. That's what, So don't get mad at people because they don't believe you writing a super chat. I don't even know much about everybody say Freemasons. Everybody got all these things about Freemasons. It's like, I don't know what to believe, man. That's the least of my words at this point. Let's see. But I just wish I could stand. Let's see. I just wish that I could stand on the rooftop and stand up for law enforcement officers. Let's see. Somebody said something about the book. I missed it. Let's see. Somebody said 51%. Somebody said something about the book. I didn't get it. Thanks for the super chat. Somebody write something. Write that comment again. I missed it. He said something about the book. 50% off and said something about my book. Trying to see if there's an issue so I can fix it. Hold on one second, y'all. I thought somebody was saying something happened to the book on the website. Let's see. Too many comments. I can't find your comment. Re-comment it like 2 or 3 more times so I can see it. I didn't see it. I thought I saw it. I missed it. And I know y'all got to see that it's 100 comments in here. It's impossible for me to see them all. As somebody whose grandfather was an officer and now cousin is an officer, I appreciate what y'all doing. Thank you so much. Man, and when people say crazy stuff about police officers, it's like, what are y'all talking about? Like, I get it. Some of them are nuts. I used to work with some of them. I wanted to beat them up half of the time. I get it. There's no profession you're going to work in that everybody up to speed. You know what I'm saying? These people, sometimes some of these officers are stupid, man. Like some of them have ulterior motives. They're not good people. They're not solid individuals. Like some of these officers should be fired. I get it. Like, but it's so rare. Out of all the police officers I knew, it was like 1 or 2 of them. I mean, one of them, he did get fired, but like one of them, I felt like was going down a path of possibly getting fired because he was just skating the line. In the academy, we call it the rubber band man, just stretching to the ends of barely not violating people's rights and, barely not violating people's rights and stuff like that. And so that's what, I couldn't stand the guy. Nobody liked him. Nobody's covering for him. It's just that he didn't break the law, but then he did break the law and they caught him. He didn't break the law. He was stealing. Yeah. Somebody said my book is 51% off. I said 51% off the whole store. This is I'm giving y'all just on this live stream. People on here on Sunday night, you're going to get it. Nobody else is going to know that it is when midnight hit on the West Coast, which is in 9, 10, 11, 12, in 3 more hours. It's gone forever. I'm not doing 51% off. So if you haven't got my book yet, this is the time to get the book. Sign, non-sign, this is the time to get the book. You ain't never gonna see no price for my book like this ever again. So if you thought about getting it, you better jump on here now and order you a book. Anyway, let me see. Let's see, bro. It is not about the individual in PD. It's the very it's the very connected agents that are mingling within places of power, corrupt in high places. I have no idea what you're talking about. Local police officers are barely skating. I don't know what, I mean, you're talking about FBI, you talking about stuff like that. I don't know. I never worked in FBI, but regular beat cops, bro, we go to work, log in on the computer, and try not to get killed. That's what most police officers are doing. You log in, you go to work, you try not to get killed by somebody. You pull a person on a traffic stop, everybody's a threat to you. Anybody can kill you. Black, white, male, female, they can all kill you. It's not about being black. It's not white. It's not Jewish and the Christian, gay. Nobody cares about that, man. I pull you over. I give you clear instructions. You do what I ask you to do. We both go home safe. That's what it's all about. Cops ain't out here just trying to smoke people just because, I mean, because, you know, people just, it's just crazy. When I go to the grave, I'm going to ask God, why are people so misinformed about cops? What is it about law enforcement that people are just, their common sense just don't work? People think that cops are somehow some weird human beings. Like, nobody want to kill people. Nobody wants to hurt people. It's an instinct in you that's kind of evasive of violence towards other human beings. There's a few people in our population that don't mind smoking you and not thinking about it. But a lot of those people are mentally ill. But like, you don't want to hurt people. You don't want to get hurt. When you're a cop, you see so many people get devastated. You see so many people get killed. Like, you don't want to hurt nobody and have them looking like that. You don't want to have to shoot people. A lot of cops, I mean, cops that I know that shot people, man, a lot of them, they don't make it, man. They can't live with it, even though it's justified. Some of them struggle. They struggle so bad. One of my guys, he was losing his mind on the police department. He had to get time off, man. He was so distraught at shooting this lady that he had every right to shoot because she put a gun on him. She put a rifle out on him. And he just was a better shot than she was. And he struggled, man. He almost lost his job. But they were nice enough to let him go to counseling. He lost his wife. Like, I mean, people don't handle that very well. Yeah, you see in the heat of the moment, adrenaline is rushing. They shoot a person and their adrenaline is rushing. When all of that adrenaline calmed down, the reality hit. I just killed somebody. And then grief, all of that, fear, all of that start to kick in because you start second guessing yourself. Was I right? I could swear, I know he pulled a guy. And your brain is confused. You wonder, am I going to go to prison? Are they going to believe me? They interrogate you like you a suspect. You are a suspect in a murder if you shoot somebody as a police officer. They take your gun. They read you Miranda rights. A detective comes out and give you initial interview. You don't have the right to remain silent as a cop. I think it's called garrity. You have to give an initial statement. You have to. You don't have the right to say, I want to talk to my lawyer. You have to give an initial statement, and then you can talk to your lawyer. It's a very scary thing to shoot people. Like, I don't get it, bro. They think you shoot somebody and you go home. No, you got to be off on admin leave. You got to sit home and think about that. Now, especially now, like you can go to prison for shooting the right person if they black. You know, if they happen to be black, you lost. You know, you're going to be ridiculed no matter if you right or wrong. You know, they still talking about they choked out Eric Garner. I mean, they didn't choke that dude. You know, it's all fluff. They didn't choke that guy. They did not choke the guy. You know what I'm saying? He did this. He brought him to the ground like this. This is a choke. 13 seconds. I counted it. He had his arm like this on this dude for 13 seconds. That's not enough to do anything. To put your arm around somebody like this for 13 seconds. You're not cutting off the windpipe and you're not blocking the blood. So what choke was it? You're not cutting off his air supply because his arm was like this. So you're not cutting off air supply. So are you cutting off blood supply? If you were to hold somebody's neck with cutting off their blood supply, they will pass out before 13 seconds. That's why when you see people in a rear naked choke, they pass out. They tap out within seconds. That's how quickly, if you cut the blood off to the brain, and people pass out in seconds. The dude did not choke Eric Garner, but because they didn't have nothing else to get him on, because of the optics of it looked bad, they had to push that agenda. Your book blew me away in your life as a law enforcement officer. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I'm gonna write a couple more books because I feel like I didn't hit the surface on that book. There was so much more stuff I could talk about. We respect cops. Didn't change the fact that research and knowledge about higher ups is not warranted. TPD police chief. Let me read this again. We respect cops doesn't change the fact that research and knowledge about higher ups is warranted. It's not warranted. I have no idea. TPD police chief. Come on, one hope. You got to help me, brother. I don't know where you're going with this. Are you saying that he was corrupt? Doesn't change that facts and research about higher ups is not warranted? What do you mean? Are you saying, is it a statement? Is it a question? Help me, man. Help me. Let's see. We respect cops doesn't change the fact that research and knowledge about higher ups is not warranted. Oh, that's the same one I just read. Help me. Y'all can keep asking questions. I'm going to try to answer a few more questions. It doesn't make any sense to me, so I'm not alone. Let's see. If a police officer see a person choking another person for 13 seconds, should they wait for a 14th or 12th second before they pull the trigger? Well, first of all, if you are, so let's look at it like this. Okay. You told a person who's under arrest, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. You grab his arm. He resists. You take him down because you can't get the man on the ground unless you go up around his head. You control the head, you control the body. You take him down. You're only holding him to try to get his arm behind his back. You're not holding him just to be holding him. You're trying to execute an arrest. You got your arm, it's barely like this for 13 seconds, counting the time where you pulled him to the ground. If you are a police officer and you come up on a scene of a security guard or a citizen trying to detain somebody, and they had their arm like this for 13 seconds while you're trying to put his hands behind his back, nobody's going to do anything to you. If you got him like this in a rear naked choke, then a cop is going to say, let him go, let him go. If you don't let him go, a cop is going to have to act. But if you're trying to arrest a person who is under arrest and you take him down from here, it's two different scenarios. But people can't. Some people ain't that smart. They're not that smart. He didn't choke the guy. That wasn't a choke. They can't say there's no damage to his esophagus, so it wasn't cutting off his air supply, and he did not cut off his blood to the brain. What happened was the stress of him resisting arrest caused him to go into cardiac arrest and caused him to have a heart attack because he's 400 some pounds and out of shape, overweight, and you know. But if he choked him, why did he go to jail? Why didn't they indict the officer if he choked him to death? Because they know that in the court of law, if they tried to prosecute the officer in Eric Garner's case, that all of the truth was going to get exposed. People never watched the video. They just heard he choked him to death and they go with it. In the court of law, they're going to say, let's watch this video. He had his arm around his neck for 13 seconds and then released it. Was he in the commission of trying to arrest this guy? Yes. When the guy was complaining, he released his arm off of him. What choke did he actually administer? What choke? Did he cut his air supply? There's no evidence. Did he cut the blood to the brain? No evidence of it. It just looked like he was choking him because his arm was here. Yes, Your Honor. They're going to bring experts in to disprove all of that stuff. And the media didn't want that to be disproven. They didn't want the evidence. They didn't want the evidence that Eric Garner had gotten arrested 47 times before this one. They didn't want that to be public. Because in the court of law, it's all going to come out. In discovery, it's going to come out through the trial. They didn't want you to know the history of Eric Garner. They didn't want you to know that this guy's selling Lucy cigarettes. They didn't want the clerk who called the police on him to testify in the court of law and testify to the fact that he was selling Lucy's. I wasn't doing nothing. It wasn't no, I'm breaking up a fight. He's out here doing the same thing he'd been arrested for multiple times. They didn't want that to go. And they knew the case wasn't going to go nowhere, so they declined to prosecute. But, you know, if you hate the police, then you're not going to be able to, you're just going to have to make up something. Imagine red wave midterms, Pelosi out, Trump as speaker 2024 and 2028. Ron DeSantis keeps Trump speaker and Republicans the majority. Who's vice? Tatum? Nah, I hope we sweep them fools in the midterm. I gotta try to help people get out the vote and do better. I hope we sweep these fools. Have you read Brave New World or Harrison Bergeron? Bergeron? Well, I can't read Save Jesus. Bergeron. No, I haven't read that. I haven't. Let's see. Thank you for the super chat. A-Bomb. Thanks for all you do. Brandon is being a true champion of Christ. 100%, man. Some people are scared to talk about Jesus. I talk about Jesus all the time. Why? Because I wouldn't be here without Christ. Intervention. You know. With how crazy Gen Z is, do you think the high rate of fatherlessness from Gen Z ex-parents can be part of the blank? 100%, man. When you don't have a daddy in your household, you don't have a connection to your father, you're already at a disadvantage. You ain't got to point the finger and look at nobody else. You are at a disadvantage in your life. You are not tapping into the best version of yourself if you don't have a father. You're not. If you don't have male role models in your life, you're not tapping into the best version of yourself. Now, when you get older, maybe you can overcome. But when you're young, you need that. In the impressionable years of your life, you need a father to be an example, somebody you can lean on, you can depend on financially, morally, spiritually. You need a father. And people that growing up without a father, they lost. They don't know if they gay. They don't know if they straight. They're trans. They don't know if they want to be they want to sleep with a bunch of women. They don't know what they want to be. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they're going. They don't know where they at. They don't have no history. They don't know their history. I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on real quick. But like me not knowing, having a great relationship with my grandfather because I didn't know him. He wasn't around. Neither one of my grandfathers. They weren't around. I hear stories about them and I'm inspired by the things, who they were, but I never met them. I mean, I never had a chance to meet them. I never had a chance to know them. I'm missing a big part of my family history. The pride, history, all of that stuff. I'm missing it because I didn't know my grandfather. He didn't tell me the stories of who he is, who he was, because both of them passed away. Who he was. What is the trajectory of my family? What does it mean to be a Tatum? Who were you? Who was your daddy? Who was your grandfather? Who are my people? I don't know. I don't know what my grandfather believed in. I don't know what my great-great-grandfather wanted for with the future that he saw for us. I'm starting at my father. And you telling me a person ain't even starting at their father? You definitely don't have a chance. You don't know who you are. There's DNA in you from another person who will tell you who you are, will give you the purpose of your lineage, of your family name. And if you don't know these people, you're lost. You're lost. You don't have respect for yourself. You don't have nothing if you ain't got God, you definitely ain't got nothing to live for. You have no reputation to uphold. That's why you see these kings and queens and royal family. The reason that stuff is so powerful, and I don't necessarily agree with it. I think a democracy like we live in, or a constitutional republic like we live in, is the best way to do it. But it's invaluable to uphold the family name. Even Jesus Christ, the line of David, the lineage that went all the way down to Christ is written in the Bible. It meant something to be a part of the lineage of David. And people that knew they were a part of the lineage of David knew that they were chosen. Even if you didn't feel like it, you came from David. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna start preaching. Tithes and offering coming soon. I'm just playing. Did Floyd resist? What exactly happened? Yeah, George Floyd resisted. They lied and say all this stuff, man. The boy, he trying to buy stuff, fake money. He had enough drugs in him that he was going to die from the cop, or he's going to die after that from them drugs. The cop was nice to him. If anybody go back and watch the film, I got it on my YouTube channel. The cop was nice to him, was talking to him, was reasoning with him. He was being weird at first. They had to pull a gun on him because he refused to get out the car. He wouldn't show his hands. Then he was cool. But then when they go to put him in the back of the car, he don't want to get in the car. He kicks, he fights, he kicks himself out of the car on the ground. The cops never put him on the ground. He kicked himself through the car out on the ground and refused to get up. And then Chauvin, the ignorant Chauvin, for whatever reason, decided to lay his leg on the guy's neck until he died. That's what happened. There's no justification for what Derek Chauvin did. Was that the only reason why George Floyd died? I don't think so. I think it was a lot of stuff that George Floyd died from. However, Chauvin was wrong, and George Floyd would be alive today if he made different decisions. That's it. His decisions came before Chauvin's decisions. Like a lot of people say, well, Chauvin could have did. No, well, if just say you have George Floyd, you have Chauvin. Both of them could have made different decisions that would have probably led. I still think George Floyd would have died because he had lethal amounts of fentanyl and methamphetamine in his system. But just say that he didn't have the drugs in his system, which he ingested. Whose decision came first? George Floyd's behavior led to Chauvin's behavior. So any mathematical equation, you say if George Floyd didn't do none of the stuff he did, he would still be alive today. If he wasn't trying to buy stuff with fake money, cops wouldn't even have been there. Even when they got there, if he wouldn't have resisted arrest or kicked himself out of the car because he didn't want to get in the back of the car and face consequences for his illegal behavior, Chauvin would have never had his knee on his neck. Okay. That's like saying, let's view the scenario. That's like saying you're driving down the street, you run a red light, a drunk driver hits you. Like, if you wouldn't have ran the red light, the drunk driver wouldn't have hit you. So even though the drunk driver wrong because they driving drunk, you ran the red light first. He was actually driving like he's supposed to. You ran the red light and he ended up T-boning you and killing you. Who made the decision first? If you were paying attention to traffic, you would have never got T-boned by a person who should have never been driving. If you wasn't resisting arrest and buying stuff with fake money, you would have never crossed paths with a cop that probably shouldn't have been a cop anymore after that, from what he did there. Anyway, let's see. I have asked 175 random people this question. What is the real enemy of humanity? Most say ourselves. Unfortunately, I think that's true. Who's the enemy of you? Yourself. My great grandfather was the richest black man in Pensacola, Florida in the 1920s. So rich, the city asked him for a loan. No excuses for me. You know why I'm laughing, man? Because, like, I just, what you said, DC Grace, is like what I've been screaming from the mountaintop. People try to make it seem like black people were just desolate people, clean to the 60s. That wasn't true. There was a lot of wealthy black people in the 20s, in the early 1900s. Madam C.J. Walker, which is the richest woman ever. She was the first female millionaire out of any race. She was richer than any white woman in our history. She was, if you account for inflation, she would have been a billionaire in the early 19th century. I mean, in the early 1900s. But the people act like black people were somehow eating out of a trash can until the 60s. Black people had tremendous success. There was many black people that were doing excellent in this country. And then the 60s is when black people start to decline, when you start seeing more violence, when you start seeing more incarceration and all these other things that you see that have just kind of ruining the black community. Fatherless homes. There was more fathers in the home in the 30s than in the 60s, 70s, 80s, today. In the 30s. Look at the pictures. I could pull up pictures now. Look at the pictures of black people in the 20s and 30s. They had suits on. They were dressed nice, professional. Now even the rich ones are thugging. NFL players sagging their pants, gold tee, getting gang banging. Yeah, $1 million in your pocket, you gang banging. Okay. But, let's see, 2.4 people watching and he can't adjust the chat, ? Adjust the chat, laugh out loud. I don't know. I have no idea. Let's see. If you ask me, a Brazilian rear naked choke is safer for an arrest. It slows off the flow to the brain. Steven Crowder proved it safely. Well, that's why the chokehold was applicable in some cases. Because, man, if you fighting somebody and they stronger than you, there's no way you can do it unless you choke them out. They're gonna throw you around like a rag doll. You're not gonna wrestle them. You choke them out, and then they go unconscious, and you can deal with them and assess them after that. Trying to fight a person on PCP, unless you choke them out, it's going to be nearly impossible. That's why they got a thing called excited delirium, and a lot of people, you Google it and look it up. They don't know what excited delirium is, but excited delirium was a person that's hyped up on drugs, and they begin to come down from those drugs, and then they keep crashing and crashing to cardiac arrest. But what happens is when these people are hyped on the drugs, they're super strong and they just exhaust themselves. And the pig pile, we used to call it the polyester pig pile. That's what cops used to call it. And they just pile on this person and they got superhuman strength. But when you got 6, 7 people on you, you can't breathe. Your body cannot take that exhaustion. The only reason you can do it because you high on these drugs. Your heart rate is out of control. And then once these cops suppress you enough, you begin to crash and die. And it was a lot of people dying that way. And then they came out with excited delirium. So cops know to look out for people who are extra strong, to roll them on the side, make sure they have proper air, because they're going to end up killing themselves. Hey, Brandon, big fan. I have experience in YouTube, I guess. But would you have any tips on how to get started in political commentary? My main concern is if YouTube is best way to start because of censorship. Yeah, depending on what you want to do. You want to get your voice out there, YouTube has plenty of people. They may censor you, but look, they censor me, and I have millions of people who follow, so it's better than nothing, right? What I'm going to do, quit YouTube, and millions of people cannot have access to the things that I say and I talk about. So I wouldn't recommend that you not do YouTube. I think you should do it. Be consistent. Stay away from the things that YouTube cry about. You can still talk about a lot of different things and use different terminologies to escape the negative stuff that YouTube does. So I say start on YouTube, be consistent, and be on other platforms as well. Make videos, put it on YouTube, and then put it on all other platforms too. That's what I suggest. Harris Bergeron is literally about a white woman lethally enforcing equity on black men for being too capable and talented. Why is it forbidden? I love you. Appreciate you. Let's see. Let me go to the next one. Let's see. Please read Brave New World and Harrison Bergeron. I'll give you 100 to read the 7 pages of Harrison Bergeron and talk about it for 5 minutes. Well, I don't need your money. Send it to me on the email and we'll take care of it. My great grandfather was the richest black man in the 1920s, a rich city asking for a loan, a black man in the Jim Crow South. No excuses for me 100 years later. 100%, man. There is no excuse for people to be talking about racism and stuff. Like, what are you talking about? Sorry, I've never seen your live chats. I'm a long time subscriber. Thank you for your work. Please keep this up. Trump 2024. Amen and amen. Thank you so much for the super chat. I probably should do this more and be consistent. I'm going to try to. Leftists always scream about hating Nazis, but will gladly take the Nazi playbook by taking kids away from their parents through education to indoctrination, to indoctrinate them into believing they belong to the state. 100%. You know, people that say that, oh, we Nazi, they don't believe that. They fight Nazism with Nazism. They fight racism with racism. They fight fascism with fascism. These people just be running their mouth. They don't mean the stuff they say. It's a virtue signal. I appreciate a great dad. When my mom died, it was my dad being there to give the warmest hug. I guess it's me, the warmest hug ever to save me from depression. Amen. That's good. That's why it took 2 in the tank. It took 2 to make you. Both of them should be taking care of you. And what direction do you think Arizona is headed? 100% red. Where do you see the state politically in 10 years? Red. I think Arizona going to be one of the reddest states in the union. I really do. Doug Ducey just signed like 3 or 4 bills that are you got to have ID to vote. Biological men cannot perform in women's sports. Abortions can't be after like 16 weeks, which I think that's way too long, but at least that's in the right direction on curbing women murdering their children. And then the other one was, I forget the other one. I made a video about it. All this is rating. No one wants to talk about it. Please just read the first chapter. Okay, send it to me in the email. Just order 5 shirts. I love you, man. Keep up the good work and continue to put Christ first. I appreciate it. Order 5 shirts. Holy smokes, man. Did I make a mistake, y'all, by making things 51% off on the whole store until midnight? Did I make a mistake? I hope I did not make a mistake. This is way too much of a discount, but it is what it is, man. I love you guys, and I appreciate you. This is me saying I appreciate you. You know, other people that don't watch my live streams and stuff like that, they can pay full price. But for y'all, I like to hook y'all up every now and again and let you just get the stuff you want to get. Times are rough around, you know, I know some people don't have extra money, and this is your opportunity. The book, everything. This is the chance to get my book for 51% off. This would never happen again. I'm never going to make the book 51% off, but it just was on my heart tonight, man. I was like, I made this up earlier today. I said, when I go live, man, I'm going to make everything on the store 51% off and book and everything, man. Even though it's going to be a loss on a few things, probably a lot of things, it's fine because y'all deserve it. Because I feel like the people that I know some people can't watch me, but people that really watch me and they are, you know, they dedicated to the channel and they appreciate me. They are the ones that catch me on these times where I randomly go live because they always got an eye out for B. Tatum. Life with Louis, thanks so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Dang it, OT. Why won't you run for office? You old enough, smart, care, champion the right. I want a good reason why not, and I'll leave you alone. Well, man, I just don't want to get into that nasty game, man. It's just so fake and nasty that I feel like I'm better off spreading the word the way I do it now than to, you know, have to run for office and campaign and like mushy with people. I'm just not like that. I'm just Brandon. I'm really like an introverted person, to be honest. I go on here live because I love you guys. I like talking, but like I'm very introverted. Like I don't know if I got what it takes to endure all of that crap that go along with it. And thank you for the super chat. Let's see. One Hope. Yes, sir. Chief is corrupt. I was saying, stating these facts does not mean we hate the police. Just do your research. By the way, the same corrupt man is now in charge of the border. P.S. It's sis, not bro. Oh, sorry, sis. Yeah, I think for sure. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know what the question really is. I mean, I used to work for Tucson Police. I know that old boy is corrupt. The city council picked him because he was gay. They didn't pick that man because he was qualified. They picked him because he was married to another man. Malik Aziz, who's a black chief from Dallas, and I knew Malik. Malik was the president of the National Black Police Association, which I wasn't a part of, but Malik was a great guy. Malik was the most qualified candidate for the Tucson Police Department. Well, first of all, we had internal people, but they decided they want to go outside the department. I forget his name, Chief Magnus. They had some dude from San Diego. They had Chief Magnus from Sacramento or wherever he was from, and then they had Malik Aziz from Dallas. Magnus ran a police department that was as small as one of our substations, one of our divisions. His position was about the position of a captain on our department. It wasn't even an assistant chief position. It was a captain. His department was the size of one of our precincts, one of our substations. That's it. We had 5 of them. So it was 5 times the size of his department. He was a complete social justice warrior. We had a vote for who wanted Chief Magnus or whatever. No, one person in the whole police department voted for Chief Magnus. And I think it was either an accident or that one person was gay and he wanted a gay police chief. One person in the whole police department. So Chief Magnus nobody wanted him. Malik Aziz was qualified. Malik Aziz ran a department, he was a assistant chief. His responsibility was a department 3 or 4 times the size of our department. So he had all of the talent, all of the ability. He was extremely charismatic. He was a minority. And they picked a man because he was married to another man. And that dude was a hack. I never talked to him. I'm glad I wasn't a PIO when he was a chief. I would have quit. I never talked to him. After that fool got on television and said he's an activist disguised as a police chief, I wouldn't even talk to him again. I used to see him out at the academy. I used to cross his path. I wouldn't even talk to him. I wouldn't shake his hand. I wouldn't even speak to him. He was a coward, in my opinion. Anyway, I think he was corrupt. You should react to Elijah Fortick's song and do a reaction to it. Okay. 2 Corinthians 13:14, the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ and the love of God and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with you all. Amen. Amen. Appreciate that. Let's see. Stay resistant. I can't, man. You keep asking these super chats. I can't keep reading them, bro. You just said the same super chat 100 times, bro. Can't read them, bro. Let's see. Can't read it, bro. Thank you for the super chat, but I can't keep reading the same super chats, bro. All right. So now that the super chats are gone and people already asked super chats, if you are in the chat, write a question and I'll try to answer the regular chat as well. And if you just now joining, 51% off the entire store-wide. People are going on a rampage on the store. I see why, because it's 51% off everything. Never going to do this again. My warehouses, they're going to have a stroke tomorrow when they have to do all these orders. But it is what it is. But if you guys are interested, let me go to this discount. The discount is automatic. There's no code. If you go shop, you buy something. My book is included. If you get one of my books, you are going to get the 50%, 51% off. So do you have to sign to order from the store? Do you have to sign in to order from the store? I don't know what you do. You have to sign in. No, you can order. You don't have to sign in anything. Let's see. Jesse got plenty of protein. Oh God. Y'all gonna make me, y'all make me sin reading something crazy like that. What was the longest shift of your law enforcement career? What was the longest shift? I think I worked for like 12 hours was one of my longest shifts. 12 or 13 hours, I can't remember. So I think I worked 12 or 13 hours in a shift, which for policing is a lot, man. And I was taking calls for service. It wasn't no I'm just sitting on the clock. It was working midnight, and then I had to be held over because they had a shooting and there wasn't enough people on staff, and so I think I worked for like 13 hours. It could have been 14 hours. It was somewhere around there. Yeah, it was like 13 hours straight of just working. And our shift was 10 hours. So it was like 13, 14 hours working midnight. So it wasn't too crazy. Well, but you got to think I had a 10-hour shift and then I came to that the next day and then had to do a 10-hour shift the next day. It was out of control. So and technically they wouldn't let you go too much longer than that. They'll tell you got to go home. 16 plus traffic court. Oh yeah. Oh my God. I don't know how you did that, boy. See, I wasn't, I didn't go to a lot of traffic court because I worked the weekends, midnights. So I was never really overlapping my traffic court. You know what I'm saying? So it may have been a couple days that, some of my traffic, the traffic tickets, I would have to go to court. A lot of people didn't even bring it up. They just took the ticket. Some people that did it, it was normally like on a Wednesday or Thursday or whatever when I was already off. I took that money though. Just so y'all know, when you say cops don't want to show up, I remember there was a rumor going around when I was a kid that cops don't want to show up for traffic court. So you could go in there and you would get out because they don't want to show up. Nah, they get paid to show up, bro. I was getting paid $100 and some every time I appear in court, 3-hour minimum. I'll gladly write you that ticket and show up to court. Let's see. Fund the police. I agree. We should definitely fund the police to get better training. Cops need better training, man. Like people be expecting cops to do all this great stuff and they don't get no training. It's like, I see why they be shooting the wrong people and stuff sometimes because they ain't got no training, man. You just have you having a cush job and then stuff hit the fan, Anyway, what do you think about federal legalization of weed? I think we should. This is what I think. I think I'm willing to meet in the middle to a certain degree on weed because I've seen people with medical marijuana, and I think medical marijuana is probably one of the greatest medical treatments that you can have is medical marijuana. It's natural, it's safe. I don't know a person that died from smoking weed. And even in the criminal aspect, the only criminalized aspect is selling it. Like using weed, I never went to a call where somebody was high on weed and beat their wife up. Plenty of calls. Alcohol is the most dangerous drug in America, and people don't realize it. It's one of the most dangerous drugs in America. Like people beat their wives, they drunk drive, they kill people on it. People get drunk and they just act out, man. And some of these other drugs are very dangerous too. Get them on PCP and stuff like that. But weed wasn't a problem, man. I feel like they should legalize weed, but I think that weed should be regulated to a certain degree, just like alcohol. Like you can't smoke weed in public areas. You smoke weed at your house, that's different. You shouldn't be able to smoke weed just like you can't drink. You can't smoke weed and drive, just like you can't drink and drive, stuff like that. And I'll be okay with it. Do you know what is the license plate myth with police everybody talk about? License plate myth? I think a lot of people think that cops get information from your license plate that they actually don't. That's one thing that some people may miss, or like maybe, well, it's not a myth. People used to say cops can automatically read your license plate. That's a real thing. But tell me more. People they say, oh, cops can automatically read your license plate. Not the average patrol car, right? You got to manually put the numbers in there. That's why we be driving behind you. We looking over here, typing your license plate, calling on the radio. But there are units, our DUI unit had it. There's other units that scan all these license plates. So whoever they drive around, it scans all the license plates. We only had like one car like that in our division, and there was the traffic guys that brought that out. Let's see. B. Tatum, respected police officer, but I don't trust them. Well, I understand, but you could trust most cops. Like I wouldn't trust everybody. Listen, man, I'm not going to disrespect cops, but I do know my rights. And I'm not going to necessarily trust. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not going to blindly trust cops either, because some cops are not right. So I don't think you should blindly trust anybody to a certain degree. Be respectful, know your rights. Don't let nobody take advantage of you. You know, if it's starting to get sticky, man, ask for a supervisor and ask for a badge number. Don't be combative, you know, because especially now they got body worn cameras. If you on body worn camera asking for a supervisor or asking for somebody's badge number and they refuse, they're gonna get, that's not a good look for them. They're gonna get in trouble. I don't know a police policy where you can refuse to give people your badge number, or you can refuse to ask for a supervisor. Now you can't be like, I want a supervisor right now in the middle of an arrest. Okay, like come on, they're not gonna do that. But if you ask for a supervisor on the scene, they have to call one. At least in our police department, you did. All right, God, so many people in the chat. Your book on audio, what about as well? Yes, my book is on audiobook. You can't get that. You can't get the audio on my website. You have to go to Amazon. So you go to Amazon, you can get my book on audio. So go to Amazon, if you want the audio version. If you want the signed version or you want the regular version, it's 50% off. So you can't even get this number. If you want my book, you can't even get this type of a thing on Amazon. So I think Amazon had a book at like $25 or something like that. You talking about getting 50% off of that. You finna get a steal. Whoever bought books tonight is getting a steal. And I feel bad for people that bought the book for a price. I appreciate you. You know, I appreciate you. It's just the luck of the draw, man. Somebody just so happened to be watching the live stream and I discounted it. Let's see. Wow, Tatum blocked super chats. Why is that? I ain't blocking nothing, bro. I don't even touch super chats. I can't even keep up with y'all super chats, to be honest. I'm not blocking super chats. If you say something crazy, maybe YouTube will block your super chat or hide it. I'm not blocking super chats. Why would I block your super chat? I don't even know how to block a super chat. How should law enforcement operate at our southern border? I don't know what that means. It's kind of a broad question. I think they need to just do their job. That's how they should operate. Do your job. Do your job. All right, let me see what y'all talking about here. Any more questions? Any more questions? Opinion on diabetes bill, $35 a month. I don't know what that means. That sounds pretty cheap for insulin. I think insulin should be free. For type 1. Type 2, you got to pay for it. Type 1, I think insulin should be free. Dogs know. I don't know why you keep super chatting me, man. Thanks for the super chat, but dude, you can't super chat me 100 times and ask the same questions. What do you feel about storages? They will be coming. What are you doing for your family? Shortages. You put storages. Maybe that's what you mean. Storing food. Shortages. What are you doing with your family? I mean, we got our stuff. You know, we got our little stockpile of stuff, but you know, if it come down to it, never mind. Some people can't take a joke. Anyway, was Jesus gay? Somebody said, was Jesus gay? Come on, man. Come on, man. What do you mean? Was Jesus dating men? Of course, it's no record of Jesus dating no men. Jesus didn't even have no women. Let's see. Oh, man. It comes down to what? Opinion on Catholics, the people or the religion. I don't have an opinion on the people, the Catholic people. I don't have an opinion on Catholic people, but are you talking about the Catholic, the religion? I don't necessarily agree with the theology of Catholicism, but then again, you know, it's what it is. I'm not going to protest no Catholic or nothing like that. No Catholic church, but I do think that, you know, the Pope and all that's very weird, man. It's very weird. You got some food that's, you know, I don't know. The Pope, that dude is a leftist. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. Religion is man-made. Religion is what Jesus wants. Hold on. Relationship. I'm sorry, I read it wrong. Religion is man-made. Relationship is what Jesus wants. 100%. I mean, he couldn't have said it enough. Jesus couldn't say it enough. He said, don't pray with vain repetition. And people that are praying with vain repetition, meaning they doing the same, this, I think that's what Jesus was saying. Don't do that. Like, you need to have a connection to your prayers. Don't just be saying something because somebody told you to say it and you don't even know what you're saying. When you pray, our Father which art in heaven, you need to be going through the script. Like, the first thing you should address is our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Give God some love. You know, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That's what Jesus said. You should want what's going on in heaven to be down here on earth. I may be skipping a part. Give us forgive us of trespass as we forgive those who trespass against us. You should be forgiving people. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. You know, like, those things are kind of like the guidelines. What Jesus said is how you should pray. And so every time I do my meetings and my prayers, I say, Father, thank you so much for waking me up for another day. I'm giving God glory and giving him praise and saying, help us to do right. Help us to do what you have us to do. Forgive us and give us the strength to forgive other people. We all need to forgive people. I don't know nobody in the world that's living with complete forgiveness. Like, it's a struggle, bro. People do stuff every day and you got to forgive them. Chat is full of trolls tonight. I don't know how y'all see that stuff. I don't see none of these trolls. Let's see. What about Trump being Jesuit educated and being part of the Knights of? I have no idea about that. Send me some info to my website so I can verify what you're saying. Forgiveness, like, people walk around beating their chest. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. And you hate your neighbor. You know, I don't hate people. I hate what they do. I don't hate the people. You know, really, I don't like. You know, you got to be able to separate the person from the action. Like, I hate what some people do sometimes, man. It's just I hate it. But I don't hate you as a person because you could change. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of fake. Christianity is so watered down and fake in America that it's crazy. Look at these people, man. These people are crazy, man. Let me just say this to you, man. When you're on my live stream, I do what I want to do on my live. If you don't like it, don't come on my live stream, man. You can't super chat me 1,000 times saying the same stuff over and over, man. It's just, I don't want to answer your super chat. Stop super chatting me the same thing. You know, you didn't super chatted 100 different things. Like, it's just, 100 times the same thing. Just to do super chat something different. And maybe I'll give you a chance, but you don't. How are you going to be a Christian? You know, I'm going to point this person out. This is the passive aggressive nature that women do. You're not a Christian because you won't answer my questions. Like, when you start to attack a person's Christianity, you lose credibility because a person won't answer your questions. Come on, buddy. You can't. That's not how you resolve things. You disagree. How you gonna call yourself a Christian because you won't answer the same question 100 times when I super chat it? Come on, man. Just get it together. Somebody said Jesus died for LGBTQ. No, Jesus died so you can turn from LGBTQ. Jesus didn't die for you to keep down the path that you're doing. Jesus died so that you may have an opportunity to repent. He didn't die for you to be a sinner. Somebody say I only see the 50% off clearance. I know, so a lot of people may be confused. It's 50% off store wide. I should take the clearance thing down, but so people don't get confused. Let me take the clearance thing down because some people are confused. It's 51% off. Okay, let me fix this for people because I know some people may be confused. This is kind of confusing. So let me fix this. So, okay. 50% off. Let me clarify for you because I know a lot of people, this can be confusing. Okay. There you go. I fixed it. Sorry. That's on me because I know the other thing was up there. It's confusing. This was kind of impromptu. So 51% off the entire store until midnight Pacific Standard Time. So if you're interested in getting some merch, my book, all that stuff, you better get it now. You better get it now because you ain't never gonna get that book for 50% off ever again. People, my warehouse manager gonna be mad tomorrow because he's gonna be like, Brandon, what are you doing? And it's that I'm gonna bless y'all tonight, man. So if you jumped on, you can receive this blessing for everybody that missed past midnight. Hey, cheers. Anyway, let me get back to the questions here, and then I'm gonna get up off here. I've been here for 2 hours. Opinion on legalizing prostitution. Prostitution should never be legalized. There's no way you should legalize prostitution. Like I don't think, let me tell you, let me just give you an example of why the act is not the problem. It's more so of the demand that's the problem, right? Just like drugs. If you want to smoke crack in your house, that's not necessarily the problem. It's how is crack getting to the United States of America and all of the intricate details of violence and all the stuff that come with crack in the distribution of crack and the ruining of families once daddy get on crack and he's no longer in the household and beating mama up and doing God knows what for money. That is a problem too. However, the demand or the what I was going to say, it's the demand that's the problem. So prostitution, if two grown-ups want to pay for sex, then that's them. But it's not that. It's that it forces young women to go down a path of selling their bodies, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. There becomes a demand, and there becomes sex trafficking, and then these women get abused, and all of these mischievous, immoral acts that come along with paying for stuff like this on the streets. I mean, I don't, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the great discount, especially for your signed book. Yep, appreciate it, man. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. Don't tell nobody. We probably ran out of signed books. I'm gonna have to go down there and sign more books. Is weed federally legal now? No, weed is still federally illegal, but states have rights, and certain states won't uphold federal law. But if you get caught traveling across state lines with marijuana, if you got marijuana on a plane, anything in a federal building, it's all you getting that felony. But marijuana is still illegal federally. Let's see. You get my super chat. I did. Did you say another super chat? I got your super chat. Unless you got another one. I mean, but think about this for a minute. Like outside of the demand, people don't know that you're smoking crack. It's when you do stuff to draw the attention from police officers. If a person was just smoking crack in their house, nobody would know. To be honest, nobody would know that you're smoking crack in your own house. The problem is when you start stealing stuff to smoke crack, is when really you get caught out. Like, so, the libertarians like to say, oh man, smoking crack, it's like, no, you got caught smoking crack because you riding around speeding, or you in a neighborhood buying it from somebody in broad daylight, or whatever the case may be, or you stealing somebody's stuff, like, or you beating your kids, you know what I'm saying? That's how you get caught smoking crack. And so libertarians, you got your way. Cops can't, it's not the all-seeing cop eye. People that do stuff, we never catch them, you know what I'm saying? It's just when you start doing stupid stuff, we catch you. Like drunk drivers. Like, you would really won't catch a drunk driver if they driving normal. No, they got to speed and run off the bridge and kill people and all kind of stuff. Did you wonder why they get caught? Yeah, you got caught because you're going 170 miles per hour and you kill somebody. I'm not saying people should drink and drive because that the reason why people speed is because their mind isn't there. Their divided attention and their inhibitions are not there. Somebody said, hold on, let me see. Somebody said something. I feel concerned that you're not sure about your position with Jesus and society. I don't know if that is for me. Iron Frog 502, is that to me or is that to somebody else in the chat? In the chat, tell you. 132 at red light. People be doing all kind of stuff. Let's see. Opinion on truck convoy in Ottawa. I think they did what they thought was best, man. You know, I get it. And just understand, I get it why the government have to stop them. Because, you know, you start cutting off travel and all this stuff. The government can't just let you do it. I mean, it's a fight, you know. You got to fight the government, you know. So I see why the government had a problem with it. All right, I'm trying to get y'all a question. Jesus was transracial, black, white. Okay. I got a job offer from Disney today. Hey, take that job and hope you help Disney change. This person is crazy, man. This person probably super chatted me like $50 to ask me the same question. I said I read it, bruh. Why you still super chatting me? You super chatted me $20. You done super chatted me like $100 now, telling me to read the same book. I get it. I'll read it. I told you to send me the info in the email. Yeah. God dang. Some people, they just troll. Their whole life is a troll. I said, okay, 100 years ago. Do we really care about Jesus' race? No, but who cares? Who cares? Who cares? Nobody cared enough that they didn't even really mention what color Jesus was or what he was in the Bible. Like, it doesn't matter. What matters is he died for your sins, you know, so you believe that or not. You best read Tatum book. Yeah, if you want to have a shot at the book, it's available 50% off. 50% off. I see most of y'all got the book. 50% off the Officer Tatum book. Let's see what y'all got. A lot of people got the signed copies. Let's see. Anyway, thank y'all. I appreciate it. 2 hours left to midnight. Hope y'all don't buy my whole store out. 51% off the entire store. Thank y'all for supporting the book. I don't even know what 51% off would be. Let me look at one of these orders to see how much these books are costing people. Let's see. Ooh. Y'all getting a regular book for $12. $12 for the non-signed copy. Signed copy for $20. $19. Let's see. After taxes, after shipping is $24 for a signed copy. People gonna be mad at y'all, boy. God dang. But I appreciate y'all. The loyal people are the ones who the loyal people are the ones who I appreciate, that support me. So I support you back, man. I love you guys. Thank y'all for jumping on the store. I'm gonna get up off here. It's been 2 hours. My son is with me, so I'm gonna go down and spend some time with him. Wife is there. She put the baby down. I need to spend time with my family. Let's see. Reports listening. Deputy said, I'm writing reports listening. Shout out to all my police officers out there, man. Y'all stay strong, man. I got your back, bro. I got your back like two flats. Keep your head up. If it's a calling on your life, keep pursuing the calling. Don't let nobody hold you back. God will protect you. And if God were to call you home, it's for a reason. You know what I mean? Go out there and do your best. Go out there and stay safe. Be vigilant. Keep your eye, on the prize. And if God were to take you home, just know your family will be taken care of. And God needed you more than the world needed you. But for 99% of y'all going home tonight. I pray that 100% of y'all go home tonight, especially if you watching. God protect the people who are out there protecting and serving our communities tonight. God grant every single one of them safe travel, a safe shift, a safe way home, protect their family, give them peace. Do all these things in the name of Jesus. And I know that God will do it. All of my people out here, I'm going to say a prayer because I got to pray tonight. I want to pray because I just feel like it's on my heart. Thank y'all for the super chats, all y'all who supported me. I'm gonna jump into this prayer. Every Sunday night, I'm gonna try to go live for y'all. Sometimes I travel. Like next Sunday, I'm gonna be traveling. I might be able to go live from the hotel room, but I'll try to go live. Y'all ready? Let's pray, man. Lord, thank you for waking us up for another day, giving us a new opportunity. We pray that you forgive us for anything that we've done that may be against your will. God, give us the grace and mercy and diligence and love that you have for us to forgive other people. God, we pray that all that you have us to do and all that you have in your word for us to display that on planet Earth and be an example of what you would have us do, be an example of your kingdom. God, I pray for all the leaders in our country that you allow them or give them access or influence. Send your people to talk to them and get them in a position that they may do what's right by our country, what's right by your country. God, you have control, you have dominion over all these things. You've given us the permission, given us the authority to do what's right. And God, we pray that when we in our shortcomings, you intervene. And I want to pray right now for all the police officers that are out there uh, going to their shift, leaving shift, actively in a shift. God, I pray that you protect them, you keep them safe, away from harm, help with their due diligence to keep their head on the swivel, give them supernatural instincts that can be protective of themselves and other people. God, I pray right now in the name of Jesus. I know you can do it, Lord, and we trust you in solidarity. All the people that are watching it on one accord, we pray that you keep these officers safe. Everybody that's watching this live, keep them safe. Bless them according to your will. Help them be the best version of themselves, whether it be influenced by us, dreams, visions. God, you know what's the best way, or the best way to interact with your people. And God, we pray great success on this YouTube channel, that you allow me to continue to push a message forward that is kingdom first. And God, I pray that you allow the message to go as far as you would want it to go, and help me to be an example and keep being a stand-up man, and help me in my shortcomings that I may be a light to the world. And I pray for all of you guys that have supported this channel. I pray God bless you 100-fold. In Jesus' name, amen. Thank y'all for watching, man. I really appreciate y'all. I know it's a lot of trolls in the chat. Don't even look at them trolls, but they be wasting their time in the chat. But again, I'm gonna say this and I'm done. I'm going to bed. Midnight, you got 2 hours. You got less than 2 hours. You got an hour and, if my math is right, you got an hour and 54 minutes. Is my math right? 44 minutes. 44 minutes. Now 48 minutes. Dang, my math is gone. You got an hour and 48 minutes to go to the store, 51% off the entire store. That sale will stop at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So this is your chance. The books are 50% off, signed, non-signed copies. Please don't make me sign 100 books tomorrow, because we only have a few in stock. I got to go down there and sign them every so often to make sure we keep up with all the signed books. But please don't sell me out my signed books. But go get the book, go get the merch that you want, 51% off just for the people on here. Y'all the only one gonna see this, because when midnight hit, everybody else gonna be waking up to new videos and stuff, and they're not gonna take advantage of this. So take advantage of it now. It's more than likely this won't happen again. Somebody said, where's the link? The Officer Tatum store. Let me see if the link is. I'm gonna put the link in here so y'all can see it. Really, man, this is a blessing for some of y'all, man. Some of y'all really want to buy stuff from the store, and you maybe not couldn't afford it because of whatever reason. So we're gonna put this link in the chat. Y'all go on there, hit that link. I don't know. I don't even know how to pin it. Go on and hit that link. The Officer Tatum store. Hit the link. Go on and get the merch. I'm sure we're gonna sell out a whole bunch of stuff, but that's fine. My people are gonna be mad at me, but that's fine. Let me make sure I got everything. The link is there. Y'all have access to the link. Make sure I got it all there before I let y'all go. But God bless you. Thank y'all for watching. My selling this, your search should be on there. It may have sold out. If you end up getting on there and you got some sold out, hit notify me. We made available. If we see a lot of influx of people wanting a certain design, we'll bring it back. We'll reorder it. It give us about a week or two. We'll have it back in stock for you. So, but make sure you're notified, because once it come back in stock and you don't know it's back in stock, somebody gonna buy it up and we're gonna be sold out again. So, blessing to me. My thank you to you guys for supporting me. 51% off the entire store to midnight. I love you. I'll see you guys later. If anybody that works in the warehouse is on tonight, I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have a whole bunch of orders tomorrow. So I'm gonna come down there and help y'all, after the meeting. I'm gonna come help y'all because y'all gonna be inundated with these book orders. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.